morning, everyone, and welcome back to Can You Survive the Hunter's Moon? We are at the beginning of day 3 today, and we're super excited. Our founder, Brandon, sorry, I just glitched. Our founder, Brandon, was convinced that this morning was actually day 4, which tracks because these players were on day 2 as though it was day 3. For those of you that have not gotten to tune in yet, I would like to say I'm going to personally guarantee that the rest of this game is probably going to be just as fun and entertaining as all of day 2 was, because these players have brought it. There has been non-stop tea to share with you, so I look forward to doing that again today. And today's going to be a blast. And speaking of tea, I do have a little early morning tea for you while we just wait for our players to kind of all assemble and get ready on the challenge field. And we will be kicking this morning off with an immunity challenge. So the tribes did a late night tribe swap last night. And so we are now down to 2 tribes of 7 people, but there are 15 players currently still remaining in the game, which means that 1 player was left out and had to spend the night in exile. Now, exile is always a super scary term in Survivorland because it usually means that you have to go and sleep outside somewhere all by yourself in the dark, which is my personal nightmare. However, after the 2 new tribes, which is the swapped Talos tribe and the swapped Cutler tribe, headed off to camp, our exiled player, Culp, actually got to head on over to the hunting grounds, where he was greeted by the players that have been voted out of this game. So he got to hang out with them all night. He got to be around a huge warm campfire. He got to sleep inside of a tent, and he got to chit-chat with them all night long. And if you'll remember, our tribes have been very even going into... This hair is crazy. Is there lightning happening almost somewhere that it's just doing this, or is this just me? Who knows? Sorry. So if you'll remember, we actually had each of our 3 initial tribes go to tribal council twice. So there are 2 players from each tribe over on the hunting grounds, which means that Culp is now getting unfettered access to any intel from any of the tribes that the hunting ground players are willing to share. So he's going to come back in rejuvenated, hopefully a little bit, from a night outside of the elements in that tent. He's going to come back armed with information, and despite not getting the social connections of an overnight that usually bonds our players out here, he will be coming back with those potential advantages. So it'll be fun to see how he uses them. And also, speaking of Culp, as we left off yesterday, he had made a really good connection with Bergen. And Bergen ended up being the one of the 2 team captains for the swap tribes yesterday. So Bergen and Taylor drew the lucky or unlucky, depending on how you view it, captain spots. And Taylor picked all of Bergen's tribe, and Bergen picked all of Taylor's tribe. And with Culp being left out, they were told that Culp will be joining whichever tribe loses this upcoming immunity challenge. And I'm told this morning that Bergen wants to throw this challenge to hopefully get Culp on his tribe because they are such a tight 2. So we will keep an eye out for maybe a little challenge sabotage, or maybe some effort or some confusion that, maybe we'll just look for a little acting performance perhaps from Bergen and see if it's Oscar worthy. Who knows? I can hear the host now just doing a preliminary immunity challenge explanation to the players, so let's head on over there so that you guys can see the players and see what they'll be competing in this morning. And we'll go ahead and do an overview for all of you so that you know who is who and which player is on which tribe, because it was a pretty late night swap, and so we'll just, give you that info. Let's turn me around and we can check it out. All right.
So the rule with the puzzle.
Oh, all right. So players are all getting set.
Wait until. I just want to see how that works.
The ring must be touching.
Actually, front.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna demonstrate over.
So they're just doing a little demo right now. For the players at the last challenge element, we'll head on over there shortly.
All of it is supposed to touch the flat part, bottom right part. What you have to do is maneuver the ball by holding below.
Doing a little show and tell action over here. So once the players slip back into their tribes, we will introduce them.
The first tribe to drop the ball in the hole will win immunity, sending the other tribe to tribal council, where one more person will be going to the hunting party.
And
Hunting grounds.
But we get food.
Oh,
And
Brandon's doing a shimmy. That's a fun sign.
the losing tribe, when they vote somebody out, Culp comes back from exile and joins that team. You ready?
Ready?
Yeah. Any other questions before we kind of pick places? Give you kind of time to strategize? All right, let's head back over to the start. Give you a few minutes, and let's do it.
All right, let's head on over and re-meet our new swap tribes. And before we get started, we will explain the challenge to our viewers, but first we're just gonna... all right. So over here we have the new swapped Cutler tribe consisting of David, Bergen,
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad, 43rd.
Tyler, Dave, Miko, Matt, and Brad. And over in new swapped Talos, we have Fern, Melissa, Brianna, Alex, and then way over here we have Taylor and Jazzy. So those are your new swap tribes. So let's head on over to host Alan, and he will walk us through the challenge before we get started.
Hey, Alicia.
Hello.
This is our first immunity challenge of day 3 with our new tribes, and what they have to do is really difficult. They're gonna maneuver this ball. All right. Okay, they're gonna maneuver this ball.
And there's only one.
Maneuver this ball
Yeah.
over the obstacles, not like this. They're gonna put this over while you go under, while the ball stays on top.
Oh, you know.
All while holding it down here, not like I'm doing it. Once they get past these cones, they're safe. The next person can go. Once all 5 people have made it, they have to complete this CYS puzzle. And if you watch Survivor, you might have seen this last week. Brandon is an absolute maniac and made this very recently. And all you got to do is maneuver the ball all the way to the end. All you got to do. It's simple. Taylor, Jazzy, simple. There you go.
All right, and there you have it, viewers. Another multi-part challenge, which seems very difficult, but I have all the confidence in the world that these players can handle it. Heather, no. This was not that challenge. This is a different challenge. Thank God. Can you imagine if we had them do this at night? That would have been mean, and I think our medic would have been upset. The challenge they were supposed to do last night was involved fire making. So it would have looked really cool in the night, but, you know, we would rather them be by their campfires than, you know, have to start little baby fires for a challenge. Right, so it looks like our puzzle, I don't even know if it's a puzzle, looks like our maneuver-y people are set and ready. So for Talos, we have Taylor and Jasmine. For Cutler, we have Tyler and Matt. And let's head over. Looks like the challenge is about to kick off. Oh.
All right.
That's new.
Day 3, first immunity challenge. One player will be going to the hunting grounds. Survivors ready? Go!
Right, and just like that, they're all.
And Alex, first out into the obstacle course with their balls.
David
Alex
staring
on
his
that
ball
balance beam
down,
first.
willing it to stay.
David slow and steady getting on that
Alex
balance beam.
looking
Alex making
ahead.
it through. David
Not
drops,
looking
has
at
to
his
go back to the
ball.
start. Here comes Alex under the. No, Alex drops, trying to go under that structure. He's going to go back to the start, opening it up for David a little bit more.
Amazing. You got the balance beam down.
Good job.
Alex flying through that balance beam, getting right back to where he started.
It's about this transition.
David drops again on that balance beam, has to go back to the start.
All right, here's
Alex
Alex.
going under. The pole going over. Can he get it to stick? And he does. Oh, it falls off the top last second. Has to go back to the start. David's going back to the start.
It is windy out here. There's a little bit of a learning curve
Brianna
here.
helping out with some strategy with Alex. Hoping it's going to work going under that obstacle. Alex drops in the balance beam first time.
I was literally saying the same thing. It is wild that we're twins.
Now David makes it across the balance beam, but drops almost immediately. He's got to go back.
David making it farther than he has in this challenge so far.
Alex making his way again. Slow and steady makes his way. Now he's getting right back to this trouble spot. And he drops.
The wind has just picked up here.
David slow and steady. David slow and steady. You have to go under. The pole has to go over. David slow and don't touch that orange. Got to be the black. There you go. David getting that pole over. Can he make that ball stay on top? And he has done it. He's got 3 big steps to go
Incredible
over.
transition by David.
Make sure that ball does not fall. Alex still at the beginning.
Alex now starting off on this
David
course.
slow and steady, looking like this is winning his race.
David picking through
Slow,
this obstacle.
and drops. David over the second step. One more hurdle to go over. One more hurdle, and that is it. 1 foot. David is over, and David is across. One ball down.
Nicely done, David. Which means Cutler now has 1 ball through of 5.
Here comes Bergen.
Taylor's still working
For Cutler.
on their first.
Wow, I can't even walk the bell.
Cam says, oh, there is a learning curve to this challenge. I agree, and I could go to school for this and still never get it. So impressive job by all of these players.
Bergen making his way to the balance beam. That wind is picking up. Alex using his hand to block the wind. Alex falls. Bergen slow and steady. Bergen drops. Here comes Alex back.
Ooh, Alex with an excellent recovery there, but ultimately not enough. Alex
drops
through
at the end of the
and
balance
then
beam.
drops.
Melissa stepping into
Bergen now
Alex.
heading out yet again to this balance beam.
Here comes Bergen. These players' hands must be cold.
Taking his time as he makes a transition from ground to beam here.
6 degrees last night.
He's staring at the ball and it drops.
Bergen drops, has to go back to the start.
Melissa now
drops.
going to attempt. Alex going to take a little break. Melissa now
Bergen
stepping onto the course for new
room as you can on that handle. Melissa, using your hands to potentially block the wind.
That's all right.
Hands
That's all right.
Bergen now making
Bergen
the
back to
transition
balance
again.
beam. Bergen back off the balance beam. Here comes Melissa. Melissa drops right before the balance beam.
All right, both players now getting set and heading back out onto this field.
Bergen slow and steady. Melissa slow and steady. Both at the same exact spot on their balance beams. Bergen drops.
Melissa continuing on this balance
Making
beam
her
and
way
drops.
drops just about halfway through.
Dave now heading out. Bergen gonna take a little break.
Dave subbing in for Bergen, maybe getting someone else in. Dave slow and steady.
All right, Dave. Come on, Dave. You got this, bud.
Dave slow and steady. Hand is right at the top of his beam.
All right. Melissa heading back out, looking determined.
David coming back out.
Melissa making it across the beam, making it farther than she's made it so far, getting a little bit closer to the end of this challenge field every time.
Once again, at the beginning of this balance beam. Dave making his way.
And ball's dropped. Melissa steps off the beam so gracefully, keeps the
Bergen trying a different method, going shoes off, maybe get a better grip on that balance beam. Melissa drops. Bergen slow and steady with no shoes on. Will this help him get over the balance beam?
Yes.
Melissa,
How would I say it? Good recovery.
1 foot at a time.
You're good. You're good.
Oh!
Bergen has now removed his shoes. Gonna try this challenge in socks. See if that helps. Melissa receiving some strategy suggestions from her fellow tribe mates as they look on. Melissa making that transition, heading on over to this
over
obstacle.
to the structure where she must go under and the pole must go over.
There you go. Nice job. Nice. Watch it. Watch it.
This is Melissa's first time at this challenge element, so she's
Just made her way under.
almost through.
Here comes Brad taking over, giving it a shot.
Ooh, sorry.
Melissa staying on it.
Brad now heading out onto the challenge course for the first time. Makes that initial walk look easy. And here is the balance beam. Brad decides, nope, not quite.
Again, makes it over that balance beam. She's figured that part out. Now once again, pull over. She must go under. Brad making his way.
Melissa putting
Brad
the
making his
pole
way
over first
over.
before she herself goes under. Melissa almost across the beam, but the wind just picked up. Brad makes it a third of the way across the beam this time. Melissa heading out.
She has figured that part out. Now giving it a shot for Cutler.
For those of you just joining us, this is the first immunity challenge of day 3. We have our new swap tribes competing. So over here, Melissa is competing for New Talos. And over here, Miko competing for New Cutler. This is Miko's first time out on the challenge course. So he's taking his time and trying to figure this all out. Meanwhile, Melissa just drops at that same challenge element.
Miko making his way across the balance beam and drop.
So far, David for Cutler is the only person that's made it through this entire course successfully. Miko making it about halfway across this beam, but seems to have gotten the hang of it a little faster than the average player here. Melissa now making her way across this balance beam. Looks away for one moment and down that ball drops.
Melissa wasn't even watching the ball over the balance beam. Melissa resting her wrist on that piece of wood.
Melissa carefully adjusting her hand placement.
Now she's going down.
Also trying a different strategy this time. Makes the transition. Encouragement all around from New Talos. We've got Cam, Fern, Alex, and Brianna watching on as Melissa continues attempting this portion of the challenge.
Where she was before.
Meanwhile, Jazzy and Taylor are already trying to plan out how they might complete that portion of the challenge. Using their time wisely, we love to see it.
Stood up, and that ball is steady on top of the pole. Now there's 3 hurdles to step over.
Lovely. Nice. Clear.
1. That is 2. 1 more hurdle for Melissa. She is over and dropped before.
Melissa made it just shy of that course finish line. We'll have to go back and attempt. Meanwhile, Miko attempting this portion of the challenge for the first time, electing to go over before putting his, under before putting the pole over.
Okay, do what you're doing. So I turned that way to block the roll.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you're good. You're awesome.
Miko trying to figure out his next move here.
And you're getting a lot of good pictures.
What hand is he going to use to hold the pole? Melissa is flying through these obstacles
And Miko
now.
drops.
Go drop 2. You're good.
We know you got this.
All right, Miko now quickly walking towards this beam. An excellent recovery there. Keeps both the ball and drops right before this
In 3
obstacle.
minutes.
Melissa now.
After you have crossed the balance beam, if you drop the ball, you do not have to do the balance beam again.
3 minutes.
In 3 minutes.
There you go.
Miko flew across that balance beam.
Take your time.
Melissa, over 1 hurdle. Over the second hurdle.
With the other hand, grab the bottom.
Oh. Good.
And Melissa
Has made it.
gets it.
One down.
Cutler and Talos now tied 1-1 on this challenge.
It's one ball for Talos.
Cam now stepping out onto the course.
Going on the course.
Cam makes it halfway through the balance beam on his very first attempt and will head back. Miko going with the almost power walking strategy to get across this beam,
Miko through.
and he does.
Miko is going under. Cam has made it across the balance beam. The pole must go over.
Cam now
must go
here.
under. Yes.
No.
Oh, no, yeah.
Evan is finding it.
Oh, not yet.
Awesome job, Cameron.
Cam taking his time, hits his head, and down goes the ball. We'll have to restart. Miko now out on this element again.
Focus on the ball.
Getting some encouragement from his new Cutler tribe.
There you go. Your strategy.
Miko is going under.
Miko now under, has to get that pull and ball over.
Grabbing with his other hands. That pole is coming up.
30 seconds.
That pole is coming down, and Miko has 2 hands.
Little wiggle on that ball and it steadies. The wind is really trying to knock that ball down. Miko not panicking, staying super calm here and concentrating.
Miko slowly turning.
You need to go up against it and put your leg up against this so you're stable. Do that.
David giving his fellow team member some advice.
Okay.
Miko halfway through this first of the last 3 obstacles, taking his time. Cam now making the transition again. Did the pull over first and then went under, and that seemed to be a solid strategy.
Cam taking his step over the first hurdle. Miko taking a step over the second hurdle.
Cam readjusting his body placement as he makes his way through the second.
More legs.
Miko and Cam now in the same place. Miko drops, Cam makes it, and just like that, the new Talos takes the lead. Miko now getting to start at this checkpoint here
Going across the
and
balance
just
beam.
do this transition.
The checkpoint
Brianna.
first try.
Take your time, breathe.
Miko's still working.
Take your time. Yep.
Brianna has been watching her fellow players be successful in pulling several of the same strategies.
One more. Get to the cones, okay? One. No need to
Brianna
rush.
is over
Don't
3
rush.
hurdles. Just getting to the cones.
And Brianna hits it in her second attempt. Incredible.
Bird is up next.
Miko now making this transition again.
Bird coming out of the
Nice
course.
and seamless.
Just trying to get across the balance beam and get through that checkpoint.
Bird on the course for the
Miko
first
should work
time
on these obstacles.
and drops.
Successfully.
New Talos needs 2 players in Fern and Alex to successfully complete this.
3 hurdles.
Cutler needs 4 in Bergen, Brad, Dave, and Miko.
Fern moving on the balance beam and drops.
Fern resetting at the beginning of the challenge, but as soon as they make it over this balance beam successfully into this checkpoint, they will not have to cross this balance beam again. So
Over that second hurdle. 1 more to go.
Miko now near the last obstacle over here.
Miko taking his last step. Fern makes it across the balance beam into the checkpoint. Miko, 1 foot left. Just trying to get to the success.
Miko gets it, and that's 2 players through for New Cutler. Fern now at this challenge element for the first time.
Fern.
Lower it for you. Lower it for yourself.
That's all right.
Fern drops to the checkpoint.
Brad now
Here
on this
comes Brad
challenge
over the
course.
balance beam. Fern drops.
Trying to get their balance, doesn't get it, will have to reset. Fern resetting here at the checkpoint now. And they are approaching this challenge element again.
Talos has 3 members completed. Cutler with 2.
Lower it for yourself. Yep.
Watch it.
Go down with it.
The pole
He's
is
down.
over.
Good job. There it is.
Getting a lot of help
Your head's
from
clear.
their tribe.
Your head's clear. Yep. Perfect. That's the easy part.
Alright.
Good.
They have successfully gone under, and the pole successfully went over.
Back to the barn.
What was that? Like penguin walk, angling your legs.
Bring it into
There you go. Yep.
Yep, there you go.
Fern now approaching this first of the final 3 obstacles of this
Fern over 1
challenge.
big hurdle.
Yep.
There you go, yeah, try that. 2 more hurdles for Fern.
Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good. Take your time. You got so much time.
Yeah, no need to run.
So much time. So much time.
I'll stay
1
calm.
more hurdle for Fern.
Here we go. Everybody, see the cones.
And they just have to make it to the cones.
Drop the ball and run.
And they do!
And they do. Fern gets it. Handing off to Alex, who was the first player to attempt this for New Talos and will now be the last.
Here comes Brad across for Cutler.
Both players looking to reach this first
Alex,
checkpoint here beyond the balance beam. Alex smoothly making that transition, makes the checkpoint, and will now only have to reset here should he drop.
You got this, Alex. Side to side and get low.
Nice job, Alex.
Caitlin hedging her bets and cheering on both Talos and Cutler.
Alex to the checkpoint.
You got it.
But I think you got that's the move, like to lower yourself.
Take your time. All the time in the world.
Alex getting a lot of help from his tribe.
Take your time.
Jazzy says, Taylor and I are confident. Take your time. They are feeling good about their challenge element, which is this CYS
job.
Manifested.
Pole has gone over.
ring thing.
Alex is going
I don't know what to call
under.
it.
Bergen giving it a shot on the balance
Bring
beam.
it down and then just swing it.
Keep it in. Wherever you like it. Wherever you like it.
Alex
big hurdle
stepping
for
over the
Alex.
first hurdle.
2 more
Bergen
hurdles for
taking
Alex.
on this challenge in the distance.
Nice job.
Clear. Awesome. One more. 2 more legs.
Alex pumping
Alex
himself up
takes it
during the
through
challenge
the
and
obstacle.
gets it!
Oh, on there, man.
Jazzy and Taylor will now be attempting
Taylor on the maze.
Stick with it.
this ring ball maze.
Yeah.
Making it across the
Come up to the
sea.
black.
Good job, guys.
Communication.
Reset. Let me twist.
So this challenge was
Lots of
featured on last week's episode of Survivor. We have now recreated it for our players here.
Lots of communication from Jazzy and Taylor.
Okay, we're good. Chill for a minute. Now we're gonna go straight, and you're gonna do it.
Jazzy, Taylor. Looks like they've got a nice straight shot.
You can take a step forward. Yep. Give me more. There you go.
Wait. Let that twist.
Okay. Good, David. Good.
Lots of communication between Jazzy
Jazzy and Taylor
making their way
having
through
to
this maze.
work this ball
In the crux.
from the start at the
Yep.
bottom of the
Okay.
C
Okay,
all the
now
way to
twist.
that
Stay
hole at
down.
the top of the S. And in order to do
Jazzy
so, they
twisting.
have to maneuver the ring
Taylor
that
twisting.
the ball is inside of.
Lots of movement.
Go to the black.
Yep.
Lots of
There we
movement.
go. Not yet. Not to the black yet.
Yep. Black now.
They've moved it off to the side of the puzzle.
Okay, stop. Let me come over.
Yeah, I gotta get
Get
my.
your string
Yeah,
out.
get my string up.
Nice
Okay.
job.
Oh, well, it's stuck on a nail.
Okay. hold on.
A string got stuck.
Okay. Now.
There's another nail.
Okay. Wait.
Keep it there and
Yep,
I'll come
right
over.
there.
Okay.
Yep.
Good job, guys.
Come forward.
Lots of communication between Jazzy and
Bergen,
Taylor.
Brad, and Dave still trying to make it across that balance beam.
I don't have a lot of tension.
Taylor, Jazzy,
We got plenty of.
finessing this
The black?
puzzle.
Forward.
No, just stay here.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be a little tricky.
Yep.
We're going to go slow.
I think we both just take steps to the your left, my right.
That ball moving
Give me.
slightly.
Come back towards me a little bit.
Wait a
Give me.
minute.
Yep.
Just kind of get it up.
Yep.
Nudge it, just nudge
They
it.
know they've got time. They're going slow.
You don't have to go inch it.
Yeah, very
Yeah, we
slow.
got time.
Like wiggle.
Bergen steps out. Lets Brad take over on the balance beam.
Okay, now pull.
Pulling.
To the
Taylor
black.
pulling.
To the black.
That ball is inching closer and closer to the finish of this maze.
Wow. We got it.
Let's go!
Taking it. Big celebration. They are super excited to be and stay together.
We were confident.
That's because you guys gave us a lead, okay? You guys absolutely crushed.
Congratulations to New Taylors. They are super excited to have won this very first immunity challenge as a swap tribe. We will head on over to the host so Alan can award them their immunity idol.
Taylor,
We'll do
you want to come over here for us really quick?
Oh wait, we gotta get our item, our immunity.
Wow. That was excellent. We dream teamed that CYS ring thing, and I was a mess doing it. It was really hard. So props to them for making it look so easy, because I promise you it was not.
No one will vote out in your trial. Unfortunately, Cutler, that does mean that you will be seeing me a little bit at Tribal Council, where one of you will be going to the hunting grounds. Take some time to strategize, and we'll let you know when we're ready for you. Thank you.
All right. And with that, the first tribal immunity challenge of the day is complete. Excellent effort by everyone. We are going to give these players time to strategize, chat with each other, do some confessionals, and we will be back here for Tribal Council after that. So I will fill you in, of course, as I do every Tribal Council on everything that I've heard you can ask questions about anything you're curious about, and we will just have a little tea time session together. So I'm gonna guess there's 7 players. I'm gonna guess 40-ish minutes until we start Tribal Council. Maybe 35. So, you know, this is always my best guess, but we will see you back here then. And I cannot wait to get this day started. If day 3 is anything like day 2, we are in for a wild ride.